Marklin is one of the engines on the desk railway. But of course, just like James, he likes to boast how useful he is, but except even worse. Marklin always says rude things to the engines, especially the tank engines. I am the greatest of them all, and you're nothing but pathetic excuses. Meaning that we're worthless. We're all useful no matter what. Says who? The fat controller. Well, he doesn't know shit. You little engines will never understand. You're little too. That's so, but except unless I am allowed to pull the express, unlike your dirty old coaches, Andy and Clever are better than those express coaches. So really? These are made of tin or metal. Yours is made of pathetic wood. Now, if you excuse me, I better get going. Engines like me don't need to bust around with little tank engines like you. I swear to God, he's gonna end himself getting into trouble one of these days, and I know it. Meanwhile, Percy was just shunting in the yard, making sure everything was in their place. What I did was great. I deserve a medal for doing all this shunting. No one cares about you, Percy. No one will be. You're gonna die alone. Piss out. Oh God! Hey Percy! Henry's coming in with some new coal, so he wants those signs empty for him. Oh, okay. On my way. But Percy hit the trucks too hard. Oh shit! Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no, I know that sound. Careful over there, Percy. This really doesn't need more accidents. Oh yeah? Well, you watch where you're going. I'm sorry, what did you just say, you little shit? Marklin the tracks, look out! Wait, what? Oh shit! Henry, look out! Oh my God! Oh shit! Oh God! The yard was in a terrible mess. Oh, my head. Oh, God. Was that enough pardon for you? Yes. Thank you, Percy. Thank you. Soon, the mess was being cleaned up. The coaches were sent to the works, but the fat controller wasn't happy with Marklin. You piece of shit. You caused so much trouble. Those coaches were repainted, and you had to destroy them. I hope this proves you a lesson. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. No more pulling passengers for you, Marklin. You'll be doing goods trains on Thomas's branch line until further notice. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm very sorry, sir. Good. And the fat controller walked away. That night, Marklin was alone in the shed that night. Man, I really have upset the fat controller this time, haven't I? Soon, Timothy approached the sheds. Yep, you did. Very badly. You know I didn't ask you shit, Timothy. So, who cares? You know, after what just happened, you are very lucky. Lucky? Lucky? How is everything that just happened lucky? I caused an accident, so there'll be no coal for a week. The fat controller is pissed at me, and I had to do goods trains on Thomas's branch line. How is that lucky? Well, you could have had an even worse accident if Henry didn't get in your way. Okay, what are you trying to say? Well, it ain't a secret that your behavior was shit. But you remind me of like another engine that happened a long time ago. But except his accident was even worse. Okay, keep talking. Well, it all started a long, long time ago. It was back then when the railway was still new. The railway was already done, there were few coaches, and there was only one shed. The shed long time ago was the old wooden one. Back then, it was just me and Lego who ran the line, but there was also a yellow saddle tank engine. I never know his name because his nameplate was scratched off somehow. And he was the engine that we hated the most. He hated shunting trucks. He always wanted to do passenger trains, but he wasn't allowed to. But it wasn't long until he was allowed to take passenger trains, and he took this with pride and went into his smoke box. He would treat his coaches like they were his children. Even when we dare try to go near them, he would just backlash us. Marklin was a good worker, but he was known to have anger problems. Even the littlest things can make him very mad. And with this, he took his anger out on the trucks. And he also threatened us if we dare try to get in his way. But we were allowed to take coaches, but every time we do that, he would get so jealous. It wasn't long until the flight controller decided buying 3 new engines to join us all. But the yellow engine wasn't very pleased though. He thought they will replace him, so he makes sure that he will never be replaced. He uses anger out on the engines, sometimes even scaring them to death. There are times where he sabotages their trains, so they could get in trouble and not him. Soon, more engines will come to the railway, and with that, he makes sure they will not mess with him. With his anger, he always gets into terrible arguments with the engines. And no matter what they said, they were always so terrified at the yellow engine. But the yellow engine will go too far. One of the engines took the passenger train without Ben knowing, and this made him very, very mad. After the engine came back, the yellow engine pushed him. The yellow engine pushed the tank engine right towards the edge. He told the tank engine that if he doesn't leave the railway before midnight, he will get back at him and he will be nothing but piles of scrap. I saw what he was doing to the engines, and I know that this has to end. That day, we surrounded the engine and told him what we thought about him, saying that he was a disgrace to the railway, that he should be not working here, and this made him mad. The next day, there was a passenger train that was taken out by one of the engines, but little did he know that the yellow engine was watching him. Right as the engine just left the platform, it happened. The yellow engine charged at the train, crashing right into the brake coach. The brake coach burst into splinters, killing everyone. You killed my passengers! You're a monster! But the yellow engine didn't care. He just laughed and went off. That evening, the thing controller came and scolded the engine, saying he was a disgrace to his railway, that he would be taken away, put out of service, and to be forgotten forever. But he wasn't going out without a fight. That night, there was going to be a final passenger train for the night. One of the engines was supposed to take it, but the yellow engine, without no one looking, coupled up to the train. One of the engines that were taking the train saw what he was doing and told him to get out of his station. The yellow engine decided to make a break for it, taking the coaches. The yellow engine tried to make a run for it, but he was heading to trouble. Wait! Stop! But it was too late. We all saw in horror what happened next. The engine crashed through the barrier, falling to his doom, taking the passengers with him. We all went to the site, and it was devastated. We saw as the bottom of the cliff was the remains of that train. Workmen came to clean up the mess, but they were all surprised to find out that there was no remains of the locomotive. But the thing controller just shrugged it off. No one shall never know. This railway will be better without him. The railway still continued, but it was never the same after that accident. The railway had changed a lot, definitely. Engines has came and went. The thin controller had decided to buy more rolling stock, more cranes, and more brake vans, more trucks. Then soon, more engines come. The more engines, the bigger the railway got. Soon, the Fed controller decided to have construction workers to build a second shed. Then soon, it was finished. Everyone loved how it looked. It was much better than the older one. And no matter how hard we tried, the yellow engine will always haunt us in our dreams forever. Damn, that really happened? Yup, definitely. Even to this day, no one doesn't know what really happened to him. Yeah, he just disappeared out of nowhere. And he's been a big mystery to this railway ever since. Thank you, Timothy, for telling me. I'll do my best to try to be nicer. That's a good engine. Well, I better get going to the other sheds. The others might be wondering where the hell I am. Sure thing. Timothy was glad that Marklin now realized what he did, but Timothy still wondered what would happen to the railway if the yellow engine didn't do all those terrible things.
Tens the shits never end. You can't touch my riches. Even if you had MC Hammer and them 357 bitches. Biggie Smalls, a millionaire, the mansion, the yacht, the 2 weak spots, the 2 hot blocks. That's how I got the weed spot. I shot Dread in the head, took the bread and the lamb spread. Little body